Now, it's time for the 13 News Sports Desk, sponsored by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
I got goals. I got to get to them somehow.
How are you, friends? Damian Alameda here. Ask Pima freshman cross-country runner Mariah Cruz to describe herself. The first word out of her mouth is persistent. And funny enough, it's also the first word her coach Mark Bennett uses to describe her as well. And it makes sense. After all, Mariah's got goals she's got to get to. And there's no doubt she'll do it because, as you're about to learn, Mariah's mental toughness, her self-confidence is second to none. But that wasn't always the case. And how she got to this point, well, that's a story worth watching.
Set, go!
First mile is always the worst for me because my body's just barely warming up. It's getting loose. Third to fifth mile is just like runner's high. You don't feel pain. You're not really paying attention to like your body. It's just a feeling of goodness.
For years, Pima cross-country runner Mariah Cruz paid close attention to her body, hiding the pain that came with third and fourth degree burns on, of all places, her feet.
So when I was 13 months old, I was burned by hot water.
A faulty water furnace sent a stream of scalding hot water onto Mariah's feet as she sat in a bathtub.
I was told that they were going to get amputated. I wasn't getting pulses in them, and that it was going to be a hard recovery.
A hard recovery meant surgeries, skin grafts, and scars, lots of them.
I recognized that I had differences in other kids.
Other kids recognized those differences as well.
I had someone stomp on my feet. I had people calling me names. I would always have socks on. If I was wearing sandals, I had socks on, you know. I hid it.
But while she stored her pain beneath those socks, Mariah found a way to channel her emotions and leave her tormentors behind.
You know, kids, we race at recess, and I was getting those kids, you know, I was beating them.
Mariah's elementary gym teacher noticed and pushed her into track. By middle school, she discovered a talent for cross-country. By high school, she was flying. As a Mountain View senior, Mariah medaled in all her invitationals, setting personal records almost every meet.
She was just so aggressive in the race. She was putting herself in the mix and just running hard. I could see it in her face that she was determined to run hard.
Wait, Coach, what are we running again?
I think 400, 200.
Pima head coach Mark Bennett offered Mariah a scholarship. The opportunity meant she had to confront the secret she'd yet to share with even her teammates.
I finally came to terms that I needed to do something about the pain I was feeling.
Coming to terms meant addressing some constricting scarring and correcting a dislocated toe she'd been running on for years. 3 days after finishing a stellar senior season in the state meet, Mariah underwent another surgery.
You know, I remember the day of my surgery, I felt horrible. I was just so down on myself. Couldn't believe that this happened to me, that I was in this situation again.
But when she came out,
after the surgery, something just sparked in me, and I changed.
How you feeling? Feeling great.
From having been told that I was going to have my feet amputated to falling in love with running to getting all these medals to getting an offer to Pima, something's meant to happen here.
A recovery that was supposed to take 3 to 6 months took Mariah a month and a half. By the time track season rolled around, she was ready to lace up her running shoes.
I put them on and I felt like I was walking on clouds.
Cloud 9 to be exact, because Mariah determined she was ready to stop hiding.
My goal was to start going to pools and, you know, bring my sandals, and so I was like, okay, nobody's saying anything, nobody's looking at me weird. I've come to that realization, it's like, what's going on in my head isn't happening in the real life.
And with that, a weight lifted off Mariah's shoulders. The world was hers to run.
It's controlled me for 17 years, and now that I'm able to finally just be my 100% authentic self, it's so nice.
One of Mariah's English teachers once assigned her an essay. The topic, describe a challenge you had to overcome and how it affected who you are today. Well, her essay on her feet eventually made it to the Arizona Burn Foundation, a nonprofit that helps burn survivors and their families. And through the foundation and its Camp Courage, Mariah found another community filled with support and understanding. And now, one of her goals includes working with the foundation as a child therapist. But that's the bigger picture, because for this week, Mariah's goal is to jet past the competition on Saturday at the NJCAA Division I National Championships. 13 News Live at 10. We'll be right back.